This is an official announcement issued by the Department of Public Learning Oversight. Please remain calm and listen closely. This is not a test. This is not a weather warning. This is not a fire drill.
Do not go to school tomorrow, even if your alarm rings, even if your school bus arrives, especially if everything seems normal. All schools are closed, even if the lights are on, even if you see people entering. They are not open, not anymore. Reports have come in from across the county. Classroom doors unlocking before sunrise. Hallway lights turning on by themselves. Security guards vanishing mid-shift. One guard's flashlight was still on when it was found. His coffee was still warm. The radio was still on. Breathing sounds whispered through it, but no one was there. Do not trust anyone wearing a school uniform. They may smile. They may say your name. They may sound friendly. We do not believe they are still who they were. A janitor was seen waving at students. When the footage zoomed in, his hands were on backwards. His skin looked incorrectly placed. No one else noticed. Do not follow school bells. Do not listen to announcements. Do not respond if your name is called. One school's bell rang for 4 hours straight. Another intercom whispered the same thing again and again. You forgot your homework. For nearly an hour, a student heard names through the speaker that made him feel sick. Names like Sasha Glasswater and Leon Hume. No records. No photos. Just static. If you see your classroom from the outside, walk away. Even if your seat is there. Even if your books are inside. Even if your best friend waves at you. One girl looked into her classroom. The students were laughing at a joke. But the laughter was too perfect. Too smooth. It didn't sound like people laughing. It sounded like something pretending. Students are reporting mirror activity. A girl waved at her reflection. It didn't wave back. It didn't blink. A boy heard his own voice crying in the bathroom. But he wasn't crying. He was alone. One student saw his reflection brushing its teeth. But he had already left the sink. The reflection moved faster. File 9F. The 13-hour class. A math lesson that would not end. Hands kept writing. Fingers were bleeding. Equations torn through the paper. The clock ticked. But the time never changed. Other students have reported. Frozen parents staring into school windows. Football fields underwater. Phones auto-connecting to the school Wi-Fi from home. The network was called Room Too Cold. One girl turned off her phone for a week. Those who entered school today are missing. Their phones are dark. Their GPS has stopped. But their accounts have started posting. One photo showed a smiling student with no eyes. Another showed a teacher lecturing to no one. A live stream titled 202 ended with a locker door slowly opening. Inside, a pair of upside-down shoes. The caption read, "Found him." 2 investigators entered. Their body cameras glitched and failed. Only one image was saved. Something looked directly into the lens. It wore a teacher's face, but not correctly. It blinked like it had just learned how. Then it smiled. Not with lips, with its eyes. Do not trust messages from your friends. If someone says they left early, if they claim they weren't in class, block them. Do not respond. They remember. They just pretend they don't. One mother received a video from her son's friend. It showed an empty hallway, but when she raised the volume, she heard her own voice whisper, "He's still inside." More warnings. If you hear your name from inside your house, do not answer, especially if it sounds like you, especially if it sounds young, especially if it sounds scared. One child heard his own voice crying through the air vent. No one else was home. It didn't stop until he whispered, "I'm not coming." Then silence. If your teacher calls tonight, let it ring. A parent picked up. The voice was slow, distorted, metallic, like a recording underwater. Minutes later, her son came downstairs with his school bag. No eyes, just a smile. Then he disappeared. She still hears the ringtone even when the phone is turned off. If you wake up and find your backpack already packed, do not leave your home. Check every item. If something doesn't belong, do not touch it, especially if there's writing you can't read. One student found a lunchbox. Inside was a note. "Thank you for joining us." But no one packed it. The sandwich was breathing. This broadcast will repeat every 30 minutes. Unless it doesn't. If it ever stops, call the number. Not 911. You already know which number. You've seen it in dreams. Final protocol. If someone knocks wearing your principal's uniform, ask them, "What subject did I fail last semester?" If they answer wrong, run. If they answer right, run faster.